What we want to see from this programme are improved outcomes for children and their families. And the way that we hope to see that happening is by the leadership of settings involved in the buddying programme to be more tuned in to the necessity that a child attends more than one setting during their life in early years from birth through to 5, and therefore it's absolutely essential that the different settings, childminders, all involved with the young children and their families are working together.
The buddying project is designed to promote a shared understanding between the different childcare providers and to see what they can learn from each other. We have schools, that's reception classes and nursery classes, playgroups, nurseries, children's centres and childminders are all under the umbrella of the EYFS.
So he went.
The Buddy project is being piloted in the north of the borough in children's centre areas A and B, with a view to the lessons learned being disseminated and used throughout the rest of the borough. So what we really need to do is build sustainable links that really will be there beyond the end of project.
We also wanted to improve the quality of transition from playgroups to nurseries, from nurseries to schools, from children's centres to schools. And that meant that each of the settings needed to understand each other a lot more. So the first thing we needed to do was to give the playgroups and nurseries and schools a reason for wanting to be involved in the buddying project. They had to see something in it for themselves. So we decided to build our buddying project around stories.
You push.
We wanted to focus on telling stories, sharing stories, acting out stories, reading stories, and getting children to be more interested in stories. That way we felt we could get the parents involved, we could use theatre companies and professional storytellers, and there'd be an obvious route in with purchasing resources to get children telling stories themselves.
We agreed to take part in the buddying programme because it was something that we saw as very beneficial to our school to help with transition. A lot of our children come from playgroups and nurseries around the area.
As with adults, when you go into a new place, you want to see a familiar face. That makes you feel more relaxed and more confident. And I think that if we don't have this facility, then the children are going to a place where they don't know, and that can be quite frightening.
Before the project, there was a tendency for settings to work in isolation and to feel that possibly if they approached another setting, it wouldn't be welcome to actually link up.
We were able to invite feeder nurseries and playgroups into schools so that they would become aware of what's going on in the schools, so that they would help build up the informal network that's vital with any community of learning which we were hoping to generate.
The buddying project's been very useful to us because one of the key objectives we've had at our school is to make stronger links with local nurseries that feed our school, and it's given us a chance to get to see the children in the local nurseries, draw them into our school, bring them in for the sessions with the storyteller and the theatre troupe. And I think now that we've had this contact between the school and Finsbury Park Homeless Families project, just up the road, I think we're going to be able to build on that.
Stories provide a very enjoyable way of practitioners coming together and learning from each other about good practice, and also fits into the wider agenda of improving outcomes for children in terms of their communication, language and literacy development.
We had Polish-speaking children, special needs children and Turkish-speaking children, and very limited English. They sat and they were thoroughly absorbed, so hats off to that company for doing that.
It was absolutely magical. I think that it's a fantastic idea. They found it very funny and they were laughing and really in rapt silence, apart from a couple of little ones that really wanted to get up and join in as fast as they could.
Tyson and Webb Estate is a really exciting example of the success of the buddying programme.
Before the buddying, we had very limited access to the playgroups and the settings around us. We knew of them and saw them only at courses and training really, and just spoke in general. We hadn't formed any kind of relationship with them.
The teachers have come over and we can talk about profiles and observations and show photographs, but they can also see where the children are playing, and then we can take the children over to them.
Quicksilver Theatre have been running parent workshops involving practitioners with their storytelling, story acting training, and also helping them to implement that training within their settings.
But I never ever imagined boxes and things like that would be fun. It's quite interesting. There's so many things they can do with it. Fantastic idea, what I just learned today. Every time I've got some boxes, I always throw them away, but I'll never do that again.
Storytelling, story acting is based on a very simple idea that a child tells a story to an adult who writes it down for them.
What do you all do?
Then the story is read to the rest of the class. The author of the story is celebrated, and then the rest of the class act it out.
Climbing stairs, all the way up to the 6th floor.
You do watch the children whose stories are being told, and they do feel very proud to see their story come to life, and I think they're going to be very encouraged to keep telling those stories.
Oh no!
It's the concentrated input of training, resources, being able to talk to other teachers, getting together very frequently. It's been a very positive and rewarding experience.
For the first time, there's been a real sense of togetherness. Teachers in schools have visited playgroups. They've met the children who are going to be starting in September. They've met the practitioners. They've found out about what the children can learn, what the children already know.
What I would hope to see is that those valuable lessons learned will be taken on in the work that we do across the borough, that will really embed these ways of working.
All the feedback we've got from parents is extremely positive, that they feel welcomed and their children are not entering schools as empty vessels. They come with prior knowledge and prior understanding and skills which the teachers are acknowledging through the work of the nurseries and playgroups.
Being part of the buddying project, it does open up our world. Just being part of it, I've met many other schools that are not in the area, but it was good to talk to the teachers and join in with all of the activities that they've put on for the adults.
It's been really successful. The children enjoy it, the staff enjoy it, and it helps with the parents, and it's something we want to continue.
We want to hold up the practitioners that we've been working with in areas A and B really as beacons of really trailblazing stuff in Hackney, and hopefully that will set the momentum for other practitioners to take on board these ways of working.
Everybody in it together and very much focused on improving the quality of the provision, and obviously that link on improved outcomes for the children and families.